School superintendents in Dane County say you may see a referendum on the ballot in the near future. They say these referendums reflect a significant shift in school funding, moving more of the responsibility to fund schools from the state to local property taxpayers. 3 of the superintendents on the list agreed to sit down with us and talk about their concerns over state funding.
Ward Jala spoke with all 3 of them and with a lawmaker about their reasoning behind the state's budget. He's digging deeper tonight.
Yeah, Lance, all 3 superintendents I spoke with come from school districts that are turning to referendums this fall, meaning they're now asking taxpayers to vote to get their school districts more money because they say lawmakers won't budge.
Boys and girls, draw a picture.
The return to school is just around the corner, and with the pandemic slowly passing on, many families are hoping for some type of normalcy. But the reality of the situation is many of the same issues persist.
It was really hard for everyone who works in schools, from what we did with and for students, to the resources that our families needed, to the staffing shortages.
This is probably the most challenging time to ever be an educator.
I sat down with 3 superintendents from the Verona, Middleton, Cross Plains, and Oregon school districts to speak about the upcoming school year. And all 3 said their number one problem: funding.
When it comes to state funding in the state of Wisconsin, we've really been on a kind of a state of decline. So that's why we're here today advocating.
It's a decline the Wisconsin Policy Forum says has gone on for 20 years. In 2002, Wisconsin ranked 11th in the nation in state education funding. By 2020, that number went down to 25th, the largest drop of any state over the time period. In that same time period, tax cuts increased.
And we see that happening at the same time that the state is decreasing the tax burden on residents and business owners.
And so that money for education has to come from somewhere else. 83% of school districts in the state passed operational referendums over the last decade to ask voters to pay a little more, or like the upcoming case in Verona, to take money from somewhere else.
We are asking our community for permission to move funding from our capital side, in essence facilities, to the operational side, so investing in people and investing in the staff that's needed to support our students.
We could devote the entire state budget to education, and the superintendents would say that wasn't enough.
But the lawmakers behind the decision-making, like Assembly Education Committee Chair Representative Jeremy Thiesfeld, say the referendums are a good thing. Instead of the state making a decision for higher taxes, it puts the choice in the hands of the voters.
It gives the school district the opportunity to prove to the community that they actually need these dollars and what they're going to use them for.
But in the eyes of the many superintendents fighting to keep schools operating, the response is lacking. And they say now more than ever, they're all in the same boat.
This is the time for us to be open and united and partner in a way that, is really important, because it matters to the students in Verona, in Middleton, in Oregon, and throughout the rest of the county too.
So, Ward, it really sounds like the voters have a big decision to make here.
Yeah, a huge decision here, Lance. These superintendents I spoke with say in many cases, this money is just how they're going to get by and keep fully staffed. And dozens of school districts are relying on these operational referendums this fall.
All right, thank you so much, Ward.